Hi, I'm Jean Szulc and welcome. In this video I want to talk about parallel harmony and what can we actually achieve using this concept. So the main concept is basically that chords are built in situations in which they have kind of a function. They mean something in the context they are in. And so that the harmony flows smoother, you usually use something called voice leading, which is basically if you have like one chord going to another, you try to make sure that every voice within the chord, so every note that is being played, moves the least amount possible, or the smallest distance possible. So for example, if you have a C chord going to a G chord, both major, you would have C, E, G, and then the C would go down to a B, the E would go down to a Z, and the G would stay the same. That way you would have basically this chords, both chords actually moving almost nothing from one to another, so it would sound very smooth to move from one chord to another. So this is very interesting and it's very useful. It's a very important skill to develop. So I can only recommend you searching about voice leading and practicing it. There are tons of books about it. Every book about harmony talks about voice leading. But the thing is, what I want to talk about today is what if we don't give a crap about voice leading so that we can actually extract other possibilities from harmony. And this is something I've done quite a bit in my music. I have a few examples I wrote just for this video, and I have a piece of mine which uses this a lot, and I want to show it to you guys. Just a section. Let's just dive right into it. So let's say we have a chord that is built in fourths. That means that the chord isn't built in thirds. In other words, you don't have C, E, G. C, E, G, if you analyze it, you have C, a third up, C, D, E, then you have a E, which is the third of the chord, and then you have a third up, the fifth. If we don't have that, if we built a chord in thirds, in fourths, actually we would have, going from C, we would have C, and then F, and then B, and then I like to repeat the C on the top just so that we can fit it within one hand in the piano easily, and that we can actually show which note is being has more strength to it. So basically it kind of sounds a lot more it almost sounds like an F leading chord, but at the same time it has a C that is very present in it, so it sounds very C as well, it isn't an F nor a C, but it sounds kind of between both. I like it, and that's only if we are talking about this particular example, C, F, B, and then C once again, one octave up. But the thing is, if we are going to play another chord after that, we can voice lead it properly and take it somewhere else, take it into another chord, the next chord, or we can simply move this chord around. So if we take this chord and then almost copy paste it to the next measure, next beat, whatever you need a new chord, and then you just move it up or down. While using this, we can almost use harmony in a way that it's also a melody, or at least we are dealing with harmony in the same way we create a melody, and that's something I've done a lot. I will give a few examples just so that it makes sense for you, but the thing is, it won't sound super diatonic because first of all, chords built in fourths aren't really diatonic. They actually are, but they do not display the most common things you would see in a chord. They are not showing the third nor the fifth. They're showing the fourth and the seventh. So it is kind of the most dissonant parts of the chords. So it's kind of weird. But the thing is, it won't sound completely diatonic, but it will allow us to search and venture into new soundscapes, new stuff that we are not really that used to venturing into. So let's listen to an example. I did this, and this is a very uninspired example really, because the thing is, I wrote it as an example. It's how do I use it? You use it like this, then you understand the concept, and then you use it in a way or in a context in which it actually sounds good. This example is not supposed to sound good, so that's why the next example is from a piece. It is my sextet for winds and piano, and it took 5 months to finish. So The thing is, it's not easy to use this kind of stuff because you have to find ways of for it to actually sound great. But the thing is, it is a possibility, so take this example as something written in 15 minutes and then watch what can you actually do with it if you spend a lot of time on it. So let's listen to the first example. So this next example is basically the same thing, except it is in arpeggios, you know, instead of having like blocked chords, I use arpeggios. So let's listen to it. It's just the same thing, but it gives a different feel to it. Well, as you can see, like it sounds very boring, but there's a few reasons to it. First of all, it didn't take a whole lot of time into building like a fantastic sounding example because it's just an example. We just have like these chords moving around in parallel motion, creating kind of a melody which also has its own harmony, but it doesn't have like a bass line, for example, or an accompaniment, or it doesn't really display much. It is just one thing, one concept separated from all the other things in music that make us enjoy it. So you have to understand that. So it's just like very simple, but I want you to listen to this now because this is a much better example which took me months to write. So I will put just a small section of my piece, my success for winds and piano, so that you can see what can you actually achieve with this. And as you can see, the harmonies on the right hand of the piano, they are using this, what I said, they are using like chords in parallel motion. Sometimes, like not always, I will have parallel motion, I will have like voice leading, and I will have like other like, uses of this particular thing, but you will find this concept I'm talking about in this video, in that example. And also we have another harmonic happening going on in the left hand, which is like centered in one key only, so you're not like moving around too much. So like there's a lot more going on in here, and you can see that by taking this very same example, you can like bring it to new levels, and you can really make stuff that sounds, in my opinion, really amazing. So that was the video, that was the concept, very simple. It almost sounds childish. You have a structure, you transpose it, creating a melody, but at the same time a melody that has its own harmony, but it works incredibly well, and it is kind of a great technique to escape the more traditional harmony we are used to. And the thing is, things don't have to be complicated to be good, you know, they don't have to be super complicated to understand or to use for them to actually like work out nicely. And I want to see you guys trying this. If you actually write something using this concept, just don't forget to leave it here in the comments. Also, don't forget to listen to the whole piece. I mentioned the success for winds and piano because it has like a lot of moments in which it uses this kind of harmony, and also it uses a lot other types of harmony, other types of harmonic writing basically, that I think you could extract some inspiration out of that and find ways of writing your own music from mine. So thank you a lot for watching. I'm really glad you watched until the end. Don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe to receive more when I post. I post every weekend, every Saturday to be more exact. And if you want to learn more with me, don't forget to subscribe because you will receive a lot more just like this. Thank you a lot for watching. I'll see you next time.